Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Chris and today I'm talking about the found footage mockumentary horror movie, The Last Call. And this is directed by Isaac Rodriguez, kind of loosely based on his short film Cop Shot, Cop Call, Cop View, Cop Video, Cop something? What am I saying? Cop Cam. I said everything but Cam. Jesus Christ. Anyways, it's based on his short film Cop Cam, and then kind of expounded upon from there, which is essentially these two police officers entering into this old abandoned asylum. Is it an asylum or a hospital? Not looking it up again. I'm just checking text messages. I'm very popular, always getting text messages up in here. This text message does not say whether it was a hospital. It was a hospital, you know, that comes to me. Yeah, these two police officers exploring this hospital because they get a call, and you see this all from like the body cam footage. And then some sort of supernatural hijinks ensue, and now the story follows this missing police officer's wife as she tries to uncover the mystery of what happened to her husband. Obviously, some twists and turns, supernatural hijinks ensue, and you get The Last Call. So, this movie starts out really, really compelling, for me at least. It's very found footage, but it followed the found footage rules pretty good. It's just a body cam shot. You don't hear much beyond like the officers' dialogue and movement and stuff, and it's cutting between the two, and I thought it was well shot. The location's really cool. It was creepy. I was really interested in where this movie was gonna go. And then after the first 10 minutes, you're introduced to the wife character, and it becomes this mockumentary thing. But the rules become loose, the story becomes convoluted and not really that interesting, and a lot of it falls apart. This movie is very, very, very inconsistent, much like my bowel movements. I'm not sure why I shared that right now. But when it's hitting, it hits really high. There are some really great moments in this movie where it all comes together, most of them being the found footage stuff taking place at the asylum. The other stuff, the mockumentary stuff, is a bit confusing and very poorly acted throughout that really kind of ruins a lot of this movie for me. I talk about found footage a lot. I like found footage movies, and I especially like it, you know, the one way where it feels like legitimate found footage. So you're not gonna have music, you're not gonna have hits and risers to build tension. You're gonna let the footage be as realistic and authentic as possible. That's kind of what the opening of this movie's like. The rest, not so much. A lot of times they're putting in like ominous music and hits and horror beats and stuff, and it takes you out of it because it no longer feels like real footage. It feels more cinematic. Also, the acting is not good in this. And a lot of found footage, I feel like, is created with a beat sheet or something along those lines, meaning this is the basic premise of the scene. Let's improvise some of the dialogue so it feels natural. These actors aren't great, and the dialogue feels wooden and stale and scripted, so it comes off as very not natural in this filming method. If it was shot cinematically and cut around, you could probably pull the performances up a bit, but since it's so raw with how it's shot, with it being just like a handheld camera a lot of times, it just really doesn't work. And the dialogue's not written very well either, so I think it would have been better served if they would have let the actors play a bit. And maybe they did, and it just comes off this way, but it doesn't seem like it to me. It feels stale and wooden and feels like they're directly reading from a script a lot of times. It's also very confusing of like the whole framework for this found footage thing. I don't understand. Are we making a documentary, and is this the documentary that the viewer is experiencing, or is this the viewer seeing footage from the making of the documentary? Because if it's the latter, I feel like the cameraman should be a character in the movie, and you occasionally hear him mumble lines, but for the most part, you have no idea who he is, you have no idea what his motivations are, and he's just like kind of going along with all this insane shit when like a real person would push back and be like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. There's supernatural shit, a guy's pulling guns, there's all kinds of stuff going on. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It feels convenient and goes against the whole aspect of making something found footage based in reality. You know what I mean? The main actress, also the main character, we don't know anything about her beyond the fact that like her husband's missing. So I didn't get invested in her. She seems a little bit, you know, not right in the head mentally, and which is understandable if you're missing your husband. but they don't really play it up in that way. They just make it seem like she's a little bit crazy. And I get that she's going through this whole mystery and maybe that's, you know, causing some mental problems and issues and stuff like that, but it just doesn't come off as relatable. Maybe if she had like a little backstory or we saw some stuff with her and her husband that we could empathize with, but we never do, so I guess it's just hard to relate to her. A lot of the sound in this movie is not great as well. The mix, when they're walking around in this hospital and it's abandoned and it's creepy and they're shooting it from like what feels like a handheld camera, because it's all, you know, not smooth footage and stuff like that. But then they'll interject these monster noises or sounds and stuff, and it just sits so far out of the mix of what the on-camera audio sounds like that it doesn't feel like it fits at all. And that happens quite a bit. So again, it takes you out. Now, there's other moments though, where all these things kind of align and they create like a really creepy or scary segment that I thought was effective and good. So I know there's potential and I know there's the ability to do something with this team that is really good. Because like I'm saying, when they're firing on all cylinders, they're working, it's working. So as it is, I probably say I pass on this movie because it is so inconsistent that it's a little frustrating, but I do see a ton of potential here. I'm hopeful that they can pare down like the ideas in this movie and kind of see what they did right and didn't do right, and maybe you know, learn from this experience, because I think they do have a good grasp of, you know, creating a tense, horrifying sequence when they really try to. So The Last Call, I don't think it's out yet. Let me check my text messages here from somebody. It's out on January 14th. This was a screener I received. So if any of this sounds interesting to you, or if you're a big found footage kind of guy, maybe check it out. And if you have seen it, let me know what you think, and I'll catch you here next time. Goodbye. Hey guys, it's Chris. I know some of you already have a heads up over the others because you've already liked the video and subscribed to the channel. To me, it's like a no-brainer. Like, why wouldn't you do that? So like the video, subscribe to the channel, helps us out. Catch you here later, guys. Goodbye.